Hello everybody, Ben Woodruff here with another falconry video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about why it is actually important to feed your birds inside and outside. That might seem like pointless or kind of like who cares, as long as they're eating, they're eating. But this is an important principle. The reason why I'm actually making this video, somebody in the comments earlier, you go ahead, you can eat too. She's like, I'm going to eat your finger off. Here you go. This is Rahara, she's a tie-dye falcon. I did a short video the other day just showing a Cooper's hawk eating and explaining how eating inside and training to learn how to eat and be social is an important principle. And somebody asked why she was mantling a little. And I explained, but I thought this is actually a good reason to explain why a bird should be fed both inside and outside. Now, in falconry, remember, food is a language of social bonding. In the wild, if you're a bird of prey, everybody wants to kill you and take your food or kill you and make you food, except for your parent or your mate. As a falconer, you are neither of those things, so it's a foreign idea, the fact that you would give a bird food and that they would accept food. So for them to take food from you, we think of in terms of a dog. Now, Rahara is trained here, so she's still a little hesitant inside, but overall, she's not mantling or acting excessively aggressive. But I want to talk about this. Why is there a difference and why are both important? Now, it's important to feed a bird inside and outside, no matter what bird of prey it is, but especially if it's a bird that came from the wild. Rahara did not. She's captive bred, but there are still principles as to why I feed her both inside and outside. So remember, of course, first the act of you giving and them calmly accepting food from you is an act of social bonding. It is the language barrier we break through to be able to build trust with a bird and help them feel safe with us, to feel that they will fly back to us and work with us and view us as a hunting companion. That's a base principle already. But why inside and outside? Well, when you're flying a bird outside, they're in their element. When you're inside, everything is totally foreign. Even if they have lived with you for a while, it's still foreign things. TVs, walls, paintings, all of these things might conceal a potential larger bird of prey. They don't know. There's no reference. If they're outside, they know, look up, there might be a bird that might fly overhead, mantle over your food, or watch the trees, because in the trees there might be a larger bird hiding that could come after you and attack you if you are eating. When you are eating, a bird bends its head. Here, a bird, we'll see if she'll do it, because again, she's not as used to inside. Okay, maybe she's not going to do it, but a bird will have to bend their head down. When you bend your head down, you do not have a good view. You can eat your food. This is, by the way, why I normally don't do videos with a bird. I show clips because if you have a bird here, as a presenter, you're focusing everything on the well-being and mental state of your bird, and you're paying less attention to the camera. But I kind of want to show it. So when a bird bends their head down, their head is vulnerable, they are not seeing as well, and they are at risk of another bird saying, the bird's not looking, this is my moment to come down, attack him and kill him, and take their food or make them food, which is why if you look on the back of her head, let's see if I can get her to look up, she has eye spots, fake eye spots on the back of her head. Many raptors have that so that when they're looking down in the wild, you might, as a larger predatory bird, think they're looking at you and not take that moment to attack. But we want a bird to feel as safe as possible in absolutely every circumstance. We want them to feel safe inside, outside, on the ground, on your fist, in a vehicle. And the principle of acclimation is where that comes in. Get them used to anything and everything by doing it again and again. But why inside and outside? Let's say you have a new bird. When you bring them inside, you are giving them a situation that is abnormal, unusual. They are, again, seeing all these potential things, and they have no genetic frame of reference to tell their mind, yes, you don't have to be afraid of TVs. Or yes, you should be afraid of a painting because or a weird headdress. There could be something behind that. Yes, this is where Cooper's hawks hide when they come out and attack little falcons. There's no frame of reference. So they're kind of on edge. And it is normal for even a trained bird to kind of fluff out and mantle a little bit more eating in the house than outside of the house. Now that sounds bad. It's like, well, why would you subject a bird to such things? Well, the reason is we want to get them to trust you in kind of the quote-unquote worst of circumstances. When everything is an unknown and they will eat in front of you, they will take food from you, and bend down and eat food, exposing the back of their neck in totally foreign, genetically no frame of reference settings, they're safe. They feel very safe. That is building a sense of safety and trust with you, because they know in the worst of circumstances, I can eat in front of this weird human and nothing happened. So that builds trust faster than feeding them outside. However, it's important you feed them outside as well. And by the way, when I say feeding, of course, you're flying, you're hunting, you're training them to come to the lure. I'm just saying the very act of any feeding whatsoever. And feeding off the vest is the quickest way to build trust with the raptor. Now, I mentioned in other videos how that can also lead to aggression, and maybe I will even leave a link down below to a video I did on that, why feeding on the fist too much can lead to an aggressive bird and why. But point blank, feeding off the fist is the quickest way to build trust with your bird. Doing it inside is the fastest way for that trust to accelerate to good levels, but outside is the element of the bird. That has everything in the outside world does have a genetic frame of reference for their mind. They understand trees, they understand clouds, they understand the sky. Intuitively they do so. They understand cats intuitively. They understand an eagle intuitively. They understand that a pigeon is not a threat and that a Cooper's hawk is a threat. And so if they can't trust you outside, they can't trust you at all. So you must acclimate them to being trustable in the wild. If they're on the ground, on a kill or on a lure, you have to be able to walk up to them and have them feel safe so they know you're not a predator trying to take away their food. This is crucial. So you have to have both of these. And again, indoors is getting them to be rock solid. Outdoors is making it so that you can fly them freely and make sure they're not going to fly off on you, or once they catch a prey item that they're just going to go take off as you approach because their instinct says, I'm on the ground, I'm vulnerable, there's a human approaching, they take off. So you have to get the bird rock solid in both realms, and both are useful. Now, I'm sure there's people who've done this. There's different types of falconry all over the world. I'm sure there's people who'll be like, well, I've never fed my bird inside. It's not a big deal. I get the point. But the fact of the matter is if a bird can eat like this inside, with all these unusual things that they have no frame of reference for, it really does help build them rock solid and helps bridge those gaps of understanding that a raptor just simply does not understand. A raptor doesn't understand the principle of falconry. So how do you teach a bird that doesn't even speak your language, hey, guess what? We would like to go out and hunt together. Let's go out and fly. You fly, I'm going to help flush game for you. Whoa, that's too much. Whoa. Here. Just woofing it down there. You have to teach them the principle of what falconry actually is, and you cannot do that with words. And subjecting them, getting them acclimated to very odd, unusual things, like in your house, helps speed up that process and helps them, in theory, think abstractly and more quickly come to the understanding that you're a hunting companion, which defies the laws of nature. Now, there are times in nature where animals do hunt cooperatively. If you want to look up something interesting, look up badgers and coyotes. They regularly and intentionally cooperatively hunt for mutual advantageousness. Well, we're an animal species, so are they. We're doing falconry is kind of the same thing in a way, but you're the one with the idea, and you have to help bridge that gap so that they feel good about it and understand the principle. And every bird that I have, including eagles, which is crazy, feeding an eagle indoors. Every raptor that I have trained to eat and hang out and socialize indoors as well as outdoors, instead of strictly outdoors, have all trained more quickly, become more social, and been much more rock solid out in the field. So I definitely highly recommend doing both. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed learning about this principle. Again, let me know your comments and thoughts down below. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. It really does help me keep this channel up and going. And as always, happy hawking.